ಭೀತಿ ತೊರೆಯುವ ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರೆಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ
ಖಾಲಿ ಜಾಗ ಭರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಂದಿಸಿ ಬರೆದು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡಿ
ಚಿತ್ರ ಬರೆದು ಭಾಗವ ಹೆಸರಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೂ ಉತ್ತರಿಸಿ
ಪಾಸು ಫೇಲು ಗೆಲುವು ಸೋಲು ಜೀವನ ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲು
ಅಂಕಗಳೆಂದರೆ ಮೇಲಿನ ತೊಗಟೆ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಅದರ ಒಳಗಿನ ತಿರುಳು ಭೀತಿ ತೊರೆಯುವ ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರೆಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ
ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿ.
Namaste. I welcome all my beloved SSLC students for content based revision classes. I am Guru Raj Vasurkar. I am teaching mathematics for last 15 years. Presently I am working as block resource person in Devnalli Taluk, Bangalore Rural District. Now in this session I will be discussing first chapter in mathematics. Let us start. Subject mathematics, chapter number 1, arithmetic progression, which is familiarly called as AP. I think most of the students, the concepts which are there in arithmetic progression, they know very well. Let us make a list of known concept in this chapter. I think in this chapter we have discussed arithmetic progression definition and examples, identification of arithmetic progression, how to write the general form of arithmetic progression, and also what is the nth term of AP and also problem based on AP. Finally, we are going to discuss the sum of first n terms and problem based on sum of first n terms. And also in this chapter many times most of the students are finding difficulty in solving the application, that is higher order thinking type of problem. In this session I am just giving some hints to solve application type of problems also. Let us take the first concept, definition of and example of arithmetic progression. My dear students, arithmetic progression is a list of number where if you take a difference between any two consecutive term, if that difference is constant, then such a list of number is called as arithmetic progression. I think we can define this AP in other form also. Let us see here. An arithmetic progression is a list of numbers in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term except the first term. I think just by reading this definition we may get some kind of confusion. To avoid that confusion, let us see the example here. I have taken 2 here. If you add 2 to 5, the new number what we are getting is 7. Again for obtained number 7, add 5, resulting number is 12. For this 12, again if you add 5, the new number is 17. See, observe here, in this list of number, I think numbers are there, in which each term is obtained by adding fixed number. So 7 is obtained by adding 7 is obtained by adding fixed number 5 to the first number 2. 12 obtained by adding 5 to the second number, 17 obtained by adding 5 to its previous number. So, except first term means we are first writing the first term, after writing the first term by adding fixed number we are getting the remaining numbers here. Hence, this is called as arithmetic progression. I hope the definition is very simple and very clear. Let us take one more example now. See, adding means you can add any kind of number here. See, for 5 I am adding minus 3, the new number is 2. For this 2, if you add minus 3, the new number is minus 1. Similarly, if you add minus 3 to the obtained number, we are getting a list of number. This list of number gives the arithmetic progression. The next one, let us see this calendar. Similar kind of calendar here I am showing here. I hope you can observe very clearly. This, by observing this calendar, see the number, whatever dates are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this, these numbers usually we are considering as arithmetic progression numbers only. Clear? So, these 2, how actually we are obtaining? By adding 1 to this one, 3 by adding 2 plus 1. See, like this, by adding fixed number to the given number, we are getting its next numbers. So, by using this calendar, we can write any number of examples related to arithmetic progression. So, let us take the first example is 2, 7, 12, 17, 22, like this. The next one is 5, 2, minus 1, minus 4, minus 7. Similarly, if you take minus 10 plus 5, minus 5, minus 5 plus 5, 0, 0 plus 5, 5, like this, we can consider one more example for AP. So, decimal number related AP example here, 1.2 plus 0.4 is 1.6, 1.6 plus 0.4 is 2.0, 2.0 plus 0.4 is 2.4. So, here the fixed number may be positive number or negative number or a decimal number. We can consider any real number here. The next one is, let us take 2, if you add 5 to this number 2, the new number is 5. Similarly, 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 plus 5 is 17. So, like this we are getting new number or list of numbers. This fixed number 5, which is called as common difference D. This is very important. Common difference is a fixed number which we are going to add for the given list of numbers. So, what is actually a common difference? Let us see here. In an arithmetic progression, the difference between any two consecutive terms is constant is called common difference. The constant difference between any two consecutive terms in AP is called common difference. We are denoting this as D. So, the common difference may be any real number here. It may be positive or negative or any rational, sometime we can add even irrational numbers also. Let us take the next part. Here, if A1, A2, A3 dot 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 AN terms are in AP, these numbers are called terms. If these terms are in AP, means here A1 is first term, A2 is second term, A3 is third term. Similarly, An, which is called as nth term. In this AP, n number of terms are there. Suppose if these terms are in AP, then what is the value of common difference? Formula to find common difference, D is equal to, so we know already, difference between any two consecutive term. I am going to take it as A2 minus A1, or else we can write D as A3 minus A2 also, or it may be A4 minus A3 also. In general, we are writing the formula to find common difference as An minus An minus 1. An is nth term, its preceding term is n minus 1, hence difference between An minus 1 is common difference D. I hope how we can find common difference means by using these formula. Let us take the next part, how to write the general form of arithmetic progression. It is very simple. Suppose if you consider A as first term, add A with common difference D, we are getting A plus D. For second term A plus D, add D. What is A plus D becomes A plus 2D. A plus 2D plus D becomes A plus 3D. So, this is called, that is A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D dot 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 is called general form of an AP. In this general form, A is first term and D is common difference. You must know these two properly. The next one, how to write the nth term of an AP, that is general term of an AP. It is very simple. Observe here, this is a first term, this is a second term, third term, fourth term. In all these terms A is there. So, in nth term also A must be there, right. The next one is, other than first term, in a remaining term plus D is there, plus 2D is there, plus 3D is there. So, in nth term also plus D, and along with D we are going to write its coefficient. Observe here, this is a fourth term, coefficient is 4 minus 1. Third term, its coefficient is 2, that is 3 minus 1. Similarly, in nth term, see here, A is there. So, same thing, plus we have written, D also we have written, but the coefficient of D is n minus 1. Coefficient of D is n minus 1. Why? Because first term it is 1 minus 1, second term 2 minus 1, third term 3 minus 1, in nth term it is n minus 1. So, here again A is first term, D is common difference, n stands for number of terms and An is nth term. This is called as nth term of AP or general term of AP. In examination, if they ask, write the general term or nth term of AP means we must write this formula only. Next one, I think again I am going to take this calendar. You observe here, in this calendar, therefore 1, 2, 3, 4 till 31 days are there. A is 1 here, common difference is 2 minus 1, 1 here. With respect to this calendar, 31 is called last term, last term. You can write in reverse order also. We are getting one more example for arithmetic progression, that is 31, comma 30, comma 29, comma 28 like this. In that case A becomes 31, D becomes 30 minus 31, that is minus 1. Suppose if you want to write one more example, you observe here the days which appear on Sunday. The dates which appear on Sunday means 5 plus 7 is 12, plus 7 is 19, plus 7 is 26. So, another example is 5, 12, 19, 26. What is A value here? 5. What is the D value? That is 7. Right. If you consider only this much, 26 becomes the last term, or we are calling that 26 as fourth term. Fourth term itself is the last term here. Next one is write the first term and common difference for given AP. Let us take here two examples. So, AP1 is here, AP2 is here. So, just by observing this we can say 3 is the first term. See here, first term is 3. In second case, minus 5 is the first term. Then how to find the common difference? So, we know the formula D is equal to A2 minus A1. Therefore, 1 minus 3 is nothing but a minus 2. Minus 2 is the common difference for this AP. For second example, how to find D means again I am taking A2 minus A1. What is A2 value? Minus 1. This minus write as it is, A1 is minus 5. So, A1 is minus 5. So, minus into minus plus. So, plus 5 minus 1 is, it is 4 only. Clear? So, this is the way of finding the first term and common difference for any kind of arithmetic progression. This is again important part, because while solving any kind of AP based problem, first we are going to find A value and D value and other terms based on the given number, that is given problem. Next, let us take one more problem here. The problem is like this. The nth term of an AP is 3n plus 2, then find the first term and common difference. Here nth term is given, we are going to find first term and common difference. So, in this problem, according to given, this nth term stands for an. The value of an is 3n plus 2. Again I have written here. First term how to find? In place of n, substitute 1, the getting number itself is first term. Let us see here, I am replacing n as 1, 3 into 1 is 3 plus 2, that is 5. For this nth term, first term is 5. Again we have to find common difference. What is the formula for common difference? A2 minus A1. A1 is here. Let us find A2 by using this. How to find A2? Very simple. Substitute the value of n as 2. See here, directly I have substituted. So, 3 into 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8. The value of A2 is 8. My dear students, you know how to find D? Formula, substitute, simplify, we are getting D value. Like this, they may ask any other linear form equation as nth term. For all linear type of equation, terms are always in AP form only. With the help of that, we can find A and D. Is there any other alternative method to find first term and common difference if the problem is like this? Let us take one more shortcut method. I think before this, here we have actually written the first term and common difference in box. Better for concluding answer write in this form in examination. The next one is a shortcut method. If they ask for 1 mark, it is very simple. You observe this, a n is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. I am just going to rearrange them. Finally, I am writing same thing in n d plus a minus d form, n d plus a minus d form. Why I am writing like this? Let us see the next one. On comparing a n is equal to 3 n plus 2, that is a linear equation, whatever I think we have taken in given example, that is problem, with this a n d plus a minus d. So, here what is n coefficient d? What is n coefficient? 3. Therefore, the value of d is 3. So, here constant term is 2, constant term is a minus d, the value of a minus d is equal to 2. Replace the value of d here. So, 2 plus 3 becomes 5, that is first term of the given problem. Let us take one more similar kind of problem. Here a n is 5 n plus 1. My dear students, what is the value of d? It is 5 only. How to get the value of a? This constant term plus d, that is 1 plus 5 gives the first term of an AP. Again I am repeating, if a n is given, n coefficient is always a d, constant plus d gives the first term, that is 6 in this case. The next one, see, this is a very interesting and very important. I am going to take problem based on a n is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. If you want to solve problem based on this, I am going to take in first case as, see here, a is 2, d is 3, n is 10. How to find a n? Write this formula, substitute a, d, n value, simplify, we are getting a n as 29. A n means n is 10 here, this is the 10th term of given AP. The next one is, observe here, a is 2, d is 8, a n is 29. What is the value of n? We do not know how many terms are there. For this sum also, let us take same formula, that is a n is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Substitute the values, that is a n as 29, a as 2, n replace n only because we have to find the value of n. The value of d is 3. Simplify carefully. I am shifting 2 here, n minus 1 into 3 as it is. So, finally, I am getting the value of n as 10 only, right. That means 29 is the 10th term of the given AP. So, observe here, in first case we are finding a n, in second case a n is given, and with the help of remaining 2 we are going to calculate the value of n. Let us take the third case, it is again very simple because we have to find d. So, a is here, a n is there, n is here. Can you find d? Then what formula again we are using? Same only, that is a n equals a plus n minus 1 into d. Substitute the values, simplify in proper way. Most of the students are making mistake in simplification process only. ಸಂಕ್ಷೇಪಿಸೋದನ್ನು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಗಮನಿಸಿ. So, here 10 minus 1 is 9. See, from here to here only we have simplified this part. Shifting to here, write 90 as it is. Like this, finally, we are getting the value of d as 3. See, last case is how to find first term. See, a n is given, d is given, n is given. How to find a? Same formula, substitute, simplify. Again in this case we are getting A as 2. For all these 4 problems, I have taken A, D, A, N as same only. Only the purpose of taking this problem is you must know the simplification process properly. Once if you write this kind of problem, simplify in proper way means for rest of the problem which are there in your textbook, you can solve very easily. Let us take the next one. Again one more problem is here. In an AP the third term is 5 and its 7th term is 9. Find AP. Again you read. So, the first step is understand the given problem properly. Write the datas which are there in given problem properly. You must know what we have to find in this problem carefully. Let us write solution for this. Third term denoting it as A3, 7th term is A79, we have to find AP. To find AP, I am using An is equal to A plus n minus 1 into D. I am taking 2 cases here. Case number 1, replace n as 3 here. What we are getting? A3 is equal to A plus n, 3 minus 1 into D, substitute n as 3. Simplify this. 5. Why? Because E3 is 5. So, 5 equals A plus 2D. Call this as equation number 1. Second one, probably you know very well, sir, substitute the n as 7, we are getting A7 equals A plus of n minus 1 into D, A7 is 9, 9 equals A plus 6D, call this as equation number 2, solve 1 and 2 by using elimination method. Therefore, we are getting the value of D as 1 here. After getting D, consider any one of these 2 equations, substitute D is equal to 1 in 5 equals A plus 2D, that is equation number 1. Finally, see here what we are getting is the value of, after getting D and A, we can write AP, because here we have to find AP, the finally hence AP is, that is 3, 4, 5, 6, like this we are getting. The next one is one more sum. Test whether 301 is term of 5, 11, 17, 23 dot means we have to find 301 is there in this AP or not, sorry, in this series or not. Given list of number is 5, 11, 17, 23 dot. But we do not know whether is it in AP or not. First we have to decide the given list of number is in AP or not. For that, check A2 minus A1 value 6 here, A3 minus A2 is also 6, A4 minus A3 is also 6. Therefore, the constant difference between any 2 consecutive term of this list of number is constant. Hence, the given list of number is in AP. After writing this, sometime they may ask, in given AP, test whether 301 is a term or not, means no need to find this. Because here he has given only a list of number, we are cross checking whether is it in AP or not. After getting the AP means the next part is, now I am going to take An equals A plus n minus 1 into D. We know the value of An here 301, A is 5, value of D is 6. Simplify this. Therefore, 6 into n is 6n, minus 6 plus 5 is minus 1. So, what is this implies? N value is 151 by 3. Can you simplify this further? No, this is a rational number, that is fraction form. It is not a positive integer. You remember, my dear students, n is always positive integer. Here it is not positive integer. Hence, 301 is not a term of given AP. I will repeat again, if n value is positive integer, then only the term what we are going to test now, that is the term of the given AP. This is also very important sum. Let us move to next problem. How many 2-digit multiple of 3 numbers are there? That means, we know that 2-digit numbers start from 10, 11, 12 till 99. Among these numbers, how many numbers are divisible by 3 we have to test. 2-digit numbers which are divisible by 3 are, see here, 12, 15, 18, 99. These are all numbers which are divisible or multiple of 3 here. Now, this is in AP. Why? Because common difference is 3 here. What is A value? 12. What is D value? 3. The last term, consider it as AN here. I think these are all the data. The next step is write again AN formula, substitute these values here, simplify, finally we are getting n is equal to 30. What is the meaning here? So, there are 30 2-digit numbers which are multiple of 3. Therefore, number of 2 digits which are multiple of 3 are 30 here. The next one, sum of first n term related concept. The next concept is sum of first n terms. For this, let us take one example here. During the lockdown period, Siri started reading a novel. She completed 5 pages on first day, 8 pages on second day. In this way, she will read 3 pages more than the previous day. She has completed reading the novel in 5 days. Find the number of pages in novel. This is a simple one. So, I am going to find how many pages are there. For this, let us observe this table. Day 1, that is day 1, how many pages Siri is reading? 5. Second day, 5 plus 3, because 3 pages more than previous day, 8. Third day, 8 plus 3. Fourth day, fifth day, like this. I am getting the number of pages read by Siri on these days. So, if you want to find total number of pages in novel, add these number, that is 5 plus 8 plus 11, finally we are getting what? 55. So, here see only 5 days she is reading, hence by taking the number of pages read by each day, finally if you add we are getting. Suppose if number of pages are more, she is taking, let us take 100 days to complete the novel, means we are getting 100 this kind of numbers. If you add means we are getting huge number, writing number and adding process takes more time. So, in such cases, if you want to solve this kind of problem easily, means we can find the formula for sum of first n terms. So, what is that formula? Let us take formula to find sum of first n terms of AP, that is very simple, Sn equals n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, or one more is there, Sn equals n by 2 into a plus L. See the difference between these two. Instead of 2a, I am writing this as a plus n minus 1 into d. 1a as it is, a plus n minus 1 into d, replace that as L. So, here we know what is a, what is d, what is n, Sn and also L. So, a is first term, d is common difference, n stands for number of terms, Sn stands for sum of first n terms, L is a last term. An again it is a different, that is nth term. The next one is, let us take one problem based on Sn formula. Find the sum of first 15 terms of this AP means. So, given AP I have written here, let us take a list, what is A value, D value, N value, Sn, write the formula, substitute A value as 1 here, N value as 15 here, D as 2, simplify properly, the 15 term sum becomes 225. Let us take the second problem. Find the sum of 1, 3, 7, 9, 29. See, observe here, AP is given, 29th is the last term, here I am taking L as 29, A as 1, D as 2, we have to find Sn. Can you find Sn directly? No, because to find Sn, n is required. For that purpose, first find the value of n by using this formula, that is An equals a plus n minus 1 into d, substitute the value, finally we are getting n is equal to 15. Then take this formula, that is Sn equals n by 2 into a plus n. So, in previous sum we have used Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Here we are using a plus L because the last term is given. Substitute n as 15, we have calculated, L as 29 and a as 1 here, finally 225. Or else we can use this formula also, that is Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, because we know n value, a and n as well as d also. So, either we can use this formula or this formula. So, for both cases the sum of these numbers becomes 225 only. Let us take one more here, that is another problem. The sum of first 6 term of AP is 345 and the difference between last and first term is 55. Find the terms of AP. I think directly I am taking, because AP is given, sum of 6 term means S6 is 345, difference between last, that is An minus first term, A is 55. So, using S6, that is 345 value, see Sn formula, n value as 6 and S6 as 345, simplify, we got the first equation as 2a plus 5d is equal to 115. Second condition is An minus a is equal to 55. Let us take An minus a is equal to 55. The formula for An is a plus n minus 1 into d minus a, write as it is. Simplify this, this plus a minus a get cancelled, n value as 6 here, because last term there are 6 term here, hence n is 6 here, therefore the value of d becomes 11. So, after getting d, substitute the value of d as 11 here, what we are getting, the value of a, and after getting a, we can write the terms of AP by using a plus d, a plus 2d, a plus 3d formula here. So, the value of a is 30 here, therefore, first term is 30, 30 plus 11 is 41, 41 plus 11 if you add means we are getting its next term. Let us take one more different kind of problem. Three numbers are in AP whose sum is 21 and their product is 231. Find term. Here sum is given, but while solving this problem we are not using SN formula because only 3 terms are given. While solving this kind of problem, what we are doing, we are just recalling the general form of AP, that is A plus D, A plus 2D. 3 term is, see here, A plus D, previous term of A is A minus D. So, let 3 terms in AP be A minus D, A plus D. So, which is first term here? A minus D. A is not first term, A minus D is the first term. What is the common difference? D only. Then case 1 is take sum, add them, D cancel, we are getting A value. Take the product, therefore A minus D into A plus D is equal to 231. Replace the value of A as 7. Apply the formula, that is 7 minus D into 7 plus D as 7 squared minus D squared. Shift this 7 here and divide 231 by 7 means 33. So, D squared value is 33 minus 49. So, minus D squared value. Finally, we are getting the value of D as D squared as 16, D as plus or minus 16, or you can write plus 4, right. After getting A and A, we have to find the term, that is, what is the first term? A minus D, that is 7 minus 4 is 3, the first term is 3. What is the second term? A, that is 7 only. Third term is A plus D, that is 7 plus 4, 11. If you add them, 21 we are getting. If you multiply, we are getting 231 only. The next problem. So, most of the time by seeing this kind of problem in examination, probably students are finding difficulty in understanding. Let us see here, the manufacturing factory has been producing more TVs in every consecutive year. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಟಿವಿನ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. The increase over successive year has been constant, constantly it is increasing. First year if they are increasing 100 means second year again 100 TVs extra they are going to manufacture compared to previous year, and the number of TVs produced in 6th year is 8,000, 9th year is 11,300, and find the number of TVs produced in 1st and 8th year. So, by reading this sentence, increase over successive year has been constant means the production of TVs in successive year is in AP only. And one more, 6th year 8,000 TVs, 9th year 11,300 TVs they are going to manufacture. So, we know D value is A2 minus A1. Can you write this as A2 minus A1 by 2 minus 1? What is 2 minus 1? It is 1 only. Similarly, D is equal to here A9 minus A6. In the denominator I am writing it as 9 minus 6. In same way, we can write in general D equals AP minus AQ by P minus Q if AP and AQ are any two terms of given AP. So, my dear students, we can use this formula for finding D if any two terms of AP are given. So, in next we are using same formula, substitute P as 9, Q as 6 here, replace the values, simplify, finally we are getting d is equal to 1100. The next one is a1 can be written as a6 minus 5d. Why? Because a6 is a plus 5d, plus 5d minus d cancel, we are getting this. Substitute a6 value and d value, a1 we got. The number of TVs produced in first year is 2500. We can write AA at A8 as A6 plus 2D. Why we are writing A6? Because A6 is given. A6 value is what? A plus 5D. 5D plus 2D is 7D. So, A plus 7D is A8 formula. So, finally, the number of TVs produced in 8th year is 10,200 we got. So, like this, my dear students, you can solve any number of problems which are there in textbook or in previous year examination paper also. The next one, this is a very interesting one. Most of the time the students are finding difficulty in writing the application type of problem. So, here I have taken two conditions, condition 1 and condition 2. Condition 1 is sum of first three terms, product of first three terms. For second one, sum of first three terms, product of extremes. For third one, sum of first three terms, third term is 2 more than first term or 1/4 of first term. See, there are two conditions. Suppose conditions are like this, we can take the terms as, see in this one only, for each case I am taking a here, preceding term and its next term, that is a minus d, a plus d in all first three kind of problem. Let us take the next one. Sum of first four terms are there, product of extremes means end terms, product of mean means middle term, or ratio between the product of extremes and means are given. In such case, how actually I am taking means, I am neglecting a, consider a minus d and a plus d. Delete its next number a minus 2d and a plus 2d. So, first term is a minus 3d, next one is a minus d, next is a plus d, next is a plus 3d. If we are considering these four terms as AP means the problem and solving process become very easy. The next one is, in these cases you remember first term is a minus d, common difference is d. In this case the first term is a minus 3d and common difference is 2d. Similarly, you just go through this. Similarly, second condition you observe, in such case also we are going to take the terms like this only. If you see the problems which they have asked in previous year examination based on AP here, suppose if you have all these information, right, easily you can solve these problem. You just go through these problem, these are all the problems they have asked in previous year examination. The next one is, see, AP means these all ideas are there. See, you just go through once, based on nth term, based on sum of n term, based on other type. Nth term, two problems, that is two varieties are there. Based on sum of n terms, I think three kind of problem I have listed. You just go through this chart properly means you can plan how to revise this chapter very easily based on these ideas, based on your knowledge you got in your school. Finally, if you want to enjoy mathematics or this chapter means what you have to do, practice formulas properly, understand the problem properly and apply the relevant formula, practice the worked examples and exercise problems, finally solve the problems from model papers and previous year question paper. All the best for your examination. Thank you very much.
Hi, hello, namaste. I am Ramchandra Bhatt, working as a science teacher at Government High School, Batrayanpura. Welcome to the revision classes. You are eagerly waiting for this. In this session, you are going to learn about first chapter in the science, that is chemical reactions and equations. In this session, you are going to learn about writing and balancing the chemical equation, types of chemical reactions, that is combination, decomposition, displacement, double displacement, oxidation and reduction reactions, endothermic and exothermic reactions, effects of oxidation and reduction reaction in our daily life like corrosion and rancidity. Now let us understand these concepts one by one. Let us move on to next slide, that is the first one is changes takes place during the chemical reaction. It is very simple mnemonics for you, that is GST on PC. What is this? While purchasing anything you have to pay GST that you studied in social science. I purchased a personal computer PC and I paid GST. I used this one for remembering the changes during the chemical reaction. Each capital letter stands for each change. Observe this one, that is G stands for evolution of gas during the reaction. The next one is state, that S stands for state, change in the state. Similarly, the next one is change in the temperature. Next one is formation of precipitate and change in the color. These are the 5 important observations can be done during the chemical reaction. Now let us move on to next slide, that is chemical equation. Symbolic representation of a chemical change is termed as chemical equation. So here we are using suitable symbols and formulae to represent this one. The simplest way to represent a chemical change is to write it in the form of a word equation. Let us have an example for this one, that is for burning of magnesium ribbon, that can be written like this: magnesium plus oxygen, arrow mark, that is gives rise to magnesium oxide. Left hand side we are writing reactants and right side the products. Remember children, these terms are also very important. Now let us move on to the next slide, that is method of balancing the equation. First you have to write skeletal equation. It represents what are the reactants and products are there. First you have to tabulate each one like this. So the element first you have to write magnesium, then oxygen. Number of atom present in the reactant left hand side, that is I listed 1 magnesium, oxygen 2. Number of atoms in the product side, both are 1 1 each. Now let us try to balance it. Oxygen is left side 2, right side 1. So I will write 2 before MgO, then magnesium becomes 2. So left hand side I have to write 2, then your balanced equation is ready. This is 2 Mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 MgO. You can enjoy this activity through a game, that is PhET simulations are available in the online. So you will learn and enjoy the balancing action. So learn and enjoy. Let us move on to the next one, symbols used in the chemical equation. Sometimes we are not representing, sometimes we are representing. Usually physical states are not included in a chemical equation unless it is necessary to specify them. But many times we are using the reaction conditions such as temperature, pressure, catalyst, they are indicated above or below the arrow in the equation. Here is an example, that is carbon monoxide, which occur in gaseous state, G representing. 2H2 gaseous gives rise to, on the arrow mark you are seeing 340 atm indicating atmosphere, that is the pressure. For the reaction you have to apply 340 atmospheric pressure, then you are getting methanol which is in liquid form. One more example is very important, already you learned this equation, that is the photosynthesis. What are the conditions are given here? Carbon dioxide is in aqueous form, water liquid form, on the arrow you are seeing sunlight, that means sunlight is very essential for the reaction. Then it takes place in the chlorophyll, that is the green pigment you studied in life processes. What is the product produced? Obviously that is the carbohydrate glucose. In addition to this one, we have very important respiratory oxygen, respiratory gas oxygen and water. Now let us move on to different types of chemical reaction. The first one is combination. What do you mean by combination? When two different things, here you are having two reactants, they combine to form a single product, then you call this one as combination. Very simple. Similarly, we have such many reactions listed in the textbook. You can learn and understand what is that. One more example is combination of calcium oxide and water to form calcium hydroxide, which is commonly known as slaked lime. In addition to this one, heat is released, hence it is exothermic. So it is one of the type of chemical reaction. Dear students, let us enjoy the activity of combination through practicals. Here is the magnesium ribbon. I prepared the magnesium ribbon by rubbing against sandpaper because it reacts with oxygen and produce magnesium oxide. You have to remove the surface of magnesium oxide layer. Now let us heat. Observe carefully. This is the oxidation reaction. You should not perform the activity without spectacles. Use the spectacles and perform the activity because the bright light produced during the reaction may harm your eyes. The next one is exothermic reaction, just now I told. The respiration is an example for this one. We get energy by combusting glucose during the respiration. So glucose plus oxygen gives rise to carbon dioxide and water plus energy. This equation also studied in the life process chapter. The reactions may be endothermic. Example for that one is photosynthesis, which is opposite of respiration. Here carbon dioxide and water is absorbed by the green plants and they also absorb sunlight. Energy is taken in, so endo. So this is endothermic reaction. Now let us move on to next one is decomposition reaction. Very simple analogy I can give, that is same thing. I have one reactant. I will break the bond and I will get two products. Very simple. You are seeing the animation also. AB compound decomposes by the application of energy and produces A and B two products. Thus decomposition reaction where one reactant breaks up into two or more products. Such reactions are termed as decomposition. Decomposition reactions further classified into three based on how they are decomposed, maybe by the heat, maybe by the light, maybe by the electricity. Here is an example, thermal decomposition. 2FeSO4 solid decomposes on heating to produce ferric oxide, a brown colored compound. Earlier it was greenish compound, salt. SO2 plus SO3, two gases are produced during the process. Now one more example for thermal decomposition is calcium carbonate decomposes to produce calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. The reaction in which heat is used, then you call that one as thermal decomposition. Now let us move on to next very important, that is electrolytic decomposition of water. Here water is broken down into constituent elements. Such reaction done by using electric current is said to be electrolysis or electrolytic decomposition. You are here watching very important diagram. Observe the diagram carefully. Observe the volume of hydrogen and oxygen, that is in the ratio of 2:1 compared to hydrogen 2 volume, oxygen 1 volume, indicating they are in the same ratio 2:1. Dear students, let us understand electrolysis through simple activity. You need a waste plastic cup, and also observe here 2 drawing pins are pricked, they act as electrodes. So, here you are reusing and reducing the waste, recycling it, repurposing it. So, you can remember this one for your biology chapter also. Now, I need a battery, test tube, salt and water. Let me pour some water into this cup. Let me add some amount of salt. Let us dissolve salt. Salt acts as an electrolyte. Let me dissolve the salt and now observe what happens carefully. Are we observing any change? You are observing beautifully the gas is evolving at cathode. That is the hydrogen gas. Is it possible to collect this gas? Yes, you can easily collect with the help of a test tube. Fill the test tube with the water. So, now I am inverting over the terminal where the hydrogen gas is collected. Now, observe, once again I am connecting to the battery, observe the change. So, here you are observing the evolution of gas at cathode. This is the hydrogen gas. You can collect and you can perform simple activity to test it. It burns with a pop sound. This is the electrolysis of water. Now, let us move on to next one, that is photolysis. Photo, light, lysis, breaking down. During the chemical reaction, light is used to break down the compound, then you call that type of reaction as photolysis or decomposition by the light. Example are here. 2-AgBr when exposed to sunlight breaks up into constituent elements silver and bromine. Bromine is reddish brown colored vapors. After the decomposition, silvery white element, in addition to that one we have reddish brown vapors. The next one is 2-AgCl. On exposure to sunlight, Ag plus Cl2, Cl2 is greenish gas, silver already you know that one. This is called as photolysis. This is very important reaction used in black and white photography. Now, this also called as endothermic because energy is taken in, then reaction takes place. To break the bond between silver and chloride, silver and bromide ion, we are using sunlight. Hence, it is photolysis. Here is the diagram to represent this reaction. What are you observing? Yes, this is displacement reaction. You are right. When Fe reacts with CuSO4, you are seeing the displacement reaction. Gradually color change takes place after half an hour or so, like that. Let us represent the reaction through equation, that is Fe plus CuSO4 gives rise to FeSO4 plus Cu. Let us take one more example for this one, that is with the help of activity series. What is the importance of activity series here? How to understand whether the displacement takes place or not? If you know the reactivity series, you will easily write the answer for these type of questions, because you have to think which is reactive, which is less reactive. More reactive element displaces the lesser one from its salt solution. That type of reaction is said to be displacement reaction. This is the reactivity series. See here, potassium is most reactive and platinum is the least one. Where is our Fe? That is more reactive, upper in the order, and Cu is lower in the order. Obviously, Fe displaces the Cu, not vice versa. Now, one more example here, that is zinc reacts with copper sulphate. Then zinc sulphate plus copper is formed. Gradually, the blue color of copper sulphate disappears and turns into white. This is the important observation during the reaction. Then one more reaction, that is the reaction of lead with copper chloride, that forms lead chloride plus copper. Let us compare Fe, Zn, Pb and Cu, which is more reactive. So, obviously, you will tell zinc is up, then comes Fe, then comes Pb, then comes Cu. This is the arrangement of these elements according to their reactivity. These type of questions are possible in the examination. So, carefully observe and use reactivity series in the first chapter itself. Dear students, now let us understand displacement reaction through an activity. So, here is copper sulphate, the blue colored solution, and two iron nails are kept, for one is for comparison, one for reaction, and magnesium strip also there. Let me pour copper sulphate solution into this petri dish. Now, let me immerse an iron nail into the solution. Now, let me add magnesium ribbon into the solution. Observe the change. What happens? You are observing the change in the color of the solution also and nail also. Let me show. Reddish deposition is observed over iron nail, that is nothing but copper. See, copper is displaced by iron. Similarly, magnesium ribbon also changed its color, indicating displacement reaction. Mg plus CuSO4 gives rise to MgSO4 plus Cu. Here more reactive element is displacing lesser one. Now, let us move on to next one, that is double displacement reaction. What are you observing? The two test tube contains two crystal clear white watery solutions, but when you mix them, you are getting a magic. So, that is the double displacement. When Na2SO4 combines with the BaCl2, both are aqueous, watery, crystal clear solutions. When you mix them together, BaSO4 plus NaCl is formed. Here BaSO4 is solid, it is called as precipitate. Any chemical reaction during which a precipitate is formed is termed as precipitation reaction. A double displacement reaction can be a precipitation reaction also. Here it is an example for precipitation. Now, let us see one more example for this one. So, that is reaction of potassium iodide and lead nitrate. When they combine with each other, they mutually exchange their radicals and form a new compound. Old bonds are broken and new bonds are established to form a new substance, which is having a different set of chemical properties. Hence, it is a chemical change. Let us perform very simple activity to understand this magical moment. You will enjoy the color change. Dear students, now let us understand double displacement through very funful activity. Here is potassium iodide and lead nitrate. Already I prepared the solutions of these two. Both are crystal clear watery liquids, that is aqueous solution of lead nitrate and potassium iodide is ready. Observe what happens when these are mixed. Let me mix them together. Carefully observe. You will observe a magic color change. So, precipitate of lead iodide is formed in this solution. If you keep this one for some time, the precipitate settles, and already I prepared the solution. You will observe here the precipitation formation. If you keep this on for half an hour, you will observe deposition of solid precipitate at the bottom. Now, redox reactions, where reduction and oxidation takes place simultaneously. Such reactions are termed as redox reactions. How to distinguish, how to identify? I have a chart for you, that is oxidation and reduction. Oxidation, addition of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. Based on that you can tell whether this is oxidation or not. Addition of oxygen is termed as oxidation, removal of oxygen is termed as reduction. Now, in terms of hydrogen, removal of hydrogen is termed as oxidation and addition of hydrogen is termed as reduction. Third type is in terms of electron. Removal of electron is termed as oxidation and addition of electron is termed as reduction. Let us understand with an example. Sodium ion Na plus takes one electron and becomes Na. Here we say Na plus is reduced to Na. Metals are reduced at cathode during the electrolysis process. So, we are explaining this reaction in terms of electron. The next one is 2 Mg plus O2 gives rise to 2 MgO. This is an example for oxidation because addition of oxygen you are seeing here. Now, let us see one more reaction, that is MnO2 reacts with HCl to produce MnCl2 plus water plus chlorine. Here MnO2 loses oxygen. So, loss of oxygen is what? Yes, reduction. So, reduced product is MnCl2. HCl loses its hydrogen, loss of hydrogen is oxidation. So, HCl is converted into Cl2. Thus, you can easily identify what is oxidation, what is reduction with the help of 3 criteria. Remember this one? Higher order thinking questions are possible here. Now, let us move on to next one. Think. You have to think and you have to analyze the situation, then you have to write the answer. When a reddish metal X is heated in air, it forms a black compound Y. Probably you observed this one at home. Electrical appliances due to short circuit becomes black. The copper coil inside that becomes black. Y reacts with a gas Z, which is a product of electrolysis of water. During the electrolysis, possibilities hydrogen and oxygen. Already we heated in presence of oxygen. Now, only left out option is hydrogen. So, hydrogen is used here. When hydrogen reacts with this compound, you are getting back the element. You have to identify X, Y, Z. Probably you got the idea and you have got it and you got the answer also. Let us see the answer. X is copper, reddish metal, only metal given in the textbook is copper, so that is copper. Why is copper oxide? When copper coil is combusted in presence of oxygen, black compound, copper oxide is formed. Now, Z, that is the product of electrolysis, hydrogen. Now, let us write equation. Cu plus O2 gives rise to 2CuO. Here addition of oxygen, one more type of reaction, that is oxidation. Now, copper oxide converted back to copper by adding hydrogen, that is reduction. Thus, you will easily identify the reaction X, Y, Z, etc. So, these type of questions are very, very important in the examination perspective. Now, let us move on to next one, that is redox reaction. The previously I wrote the equation, now you are seeing what is oxidized and what is reduced product. Copper oxide is converted into copper. What happened here? Lost oxygen, right? So, loss of oxygen is called as reduction. Similarly, you are adding oxygen to hydrogen to form water. So, hydrogen is oxidized to water. Here is copper oxide is oxidizing agent. Remember children, oxidizing agent reduces itself. See here, copper oxide loses oxygen and becomes copper. So, it reduced, but it is oxidizing agent. Remember this one. Do not get confused here. Next one is hydrogen, reducing agent, but oxidizes itself here to water. Next one is copper is reduced. So, that is the reduced product. Similarly, water is oxidized product. Thus, you can easily identify what are various terms related to a reaction. Now, one more thinking, you have to think and answer to this question. When water is added to a white solid X, a hissing sound is produced and a lot of heat is released and Y is formed, that is the product. A suspension of Y in water which is used for whitewashing and a clear solution of Y is used for testing the carbon dioxide. So many data are given, then you have to analyze, then you have to answer. Very simple trick you can play here is water added to white solid may be calcium oxide or something else, let us guess. Suspension of Y in water is used for whitewashing, quickly gives the hint, that is slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide is used for whitewashing and calcium hydroxide, it is lime water, through which if you pass carbon dioxide, it turns milky, that is the test for carbon dioxide. Now, you got many hints. Now, what are the X, Y? Write the equation for this one, let us analyze. Here X is calcium oxide. When calcium oxide is added to water, hissing sound is observed, large amount of heat is generated. It produces calcium hydroxide, hence Y is CaOH twice calcium hydroxide or slaked lime. Then the reaction is calcium oxide CaO plus water H2O, arrow mark gives rise to calcium hydroxide with the liberation of heat. So, it is an example for exothermic also. Now, one more reaction, calcium hydroxide lime water through which carbon dioxide is passed produces insoluble precipitate, that is milky white precipitate of calcium carbonate. Now, one more thinking question, that is a white solid X on heating produces yellow solid L. Reddish brown gas Y and a colorless gas Z is produced during the process. Z is used for roasting, this is one more hint. Y is an acidic gas. Identify X, Y, Z and L with the suitable reason, and also you have to write type of reaction with equations. Many hints are given here. Reddish brown gas is nitrogen dioxide, which is acidic in nature. Roasting, we are using oxygen. Thus, the hints are helping you to understand this reaction. This is the decomposition of lead nitrate. X is nothing but lead nitrate. Nitrogen gas released means it should be a nitrate salt. Nitrate, lead nitrate, that is the X. Now, Y is nitrogen dioxide, a brownish gas. Then Z is oxygen. Thus, you are getting many things very easily. The L is nothing but yellowish compound lead oxide. Now the reaction is PbNO3 whole twice on heating decomposition, thermal decomposition produces yellow color lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So thus you can analyze and answer to these type of questions. These are called as higher order thinking questions. Some data are given, based on that you have to analyze and come to a conclusion. That is the inference. So I hope you will understand these things. Thus many things are easily understood and you can score the marks also. One more thinking question is, when a green iron salt is heated strongly, its color changes to brown and odor of burning sulfur is felt. Name the iron salt. Already you studied this one, so you can easily remember ferrous sulfate, green colored salt. The next one, name the type of reaction that takes place during the heating of iron salt. This is nothing but thermal decomposition. First, loss of water takes place, that is the water of crystallization. After that, it loses water and becomes brownish colored substance on decomposition. Now the next one is, write the chemical equation for the reaction involved. 2FeSO4 on heating gives rise to Fe2O3 ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. This is the reaction you have to write. Now a student argued burning of magnesium is an example for combination reaction, while another student argued it is an example for oxidation. Who is correct and why? Or any other answer is there? Think. Yes. Now both students are correct. How they are correct? Let us write the equation first. Mg, 2Mg plus O2 gives rise to 2MgO. Two reactant combine to form a single product. Then a student argued it is an example of combination. This is right. It is combination. Another student argued it is oxidation because addition of oxygen. So he also correct. One more option. What happens here? During the reaction, large amount of heat as well as light is produced, hence it is exothermic also. Thus we can analyze the question and come to conclusion. These are little bit thinking, HOT, higher order thinking questions. Now effects of oxidation and reduction in our daily life. This is very important segments because we are seeing many things in and around us. So we should aware of these things. Corrosion, very important aspect because of oxidation. What do you mean by corrosion? Corrosion is the process in which eating up of metal surface by the action of air, moisture or a chemical like acids or salts. This process is said to be corrosion. Iron get corroded on exposure to atmospheric oxygen and water and becomes rust, which is called as hydrated ferric oxide. You will learn this in 3rd chapter. Similarly, silver articles on exposure to atmosphere becomes black. Why? This is because atmospheric sulfur combines with the silver and forms silver sulfide, a black colored coating. To remove this one, you have to apply some basic substance, then you can easily remove this one. Toothpaste has such kind of compound, so if you apply a little bit of toothpaste over that, it removes. Similarly, copper vessels on exposure to atmosphere turns greenish because of deposition or formation of greenish compound, that is ferric carbonate, which is basic in nature, CuOH twice dot CuCO3. This is called as basic copper carbonate. To clean this one, we are using acidic substance. So you will learn that one in next chapter. So these are the impact of redox reaction in our daily life. Rusting can be prevented by applying oil, paint or alloying or some other methods. Now let us understand one more impact of this reaction is rancidity. Rancidity is nothing but oxidation of oily food. On exposure to atmosphere, oil, food get oxidized and bad smell is felt. Food becomes stale because of this. Hence, this is a serious problem. Then how to avoid this one? Rancidity can be prevented by keeping the food in airtight containers and also flushed with nitrogen gas, and also keeping in the refrigerator also controls to certain extent. Now, let us move on to the next one. Here are some reference links. You will enjoy some video animations which help you to understand better. So, watch these, understand these, prepare yourself for the examination. I hope you will do wonderful in the examination. All the best. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Namaste.
ಭೀತಿ ತೊರೆಯುವ ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರೆಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ
ಖಾಲಿ ಜಾಗ ಭರ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊಂದಿಸಿ ಬರೆದು ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಮಾಡಿ
ಚಿತ್ರ ಬರೆದು ಭಾಗವ ಹೆಸರಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗೂ ಉತ್ತರಿಸಿ
ಪಾಸು ಫೇಲು ಗೆಲುವು ಸೋಲು ಜೀವನ ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮಿಗಿಲು
ಅಂಕಗಳೆಂದರೆ ಮೇಲಿನ ತೊಗಟೆ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಅದರ ಒಳಗಿನ ತಿರುಳು ಭೀತಿ ತೊರೆಯುವ ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರೆಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ